Welcome on Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. Welcome on my session in Microsoft Teams in Education. Because this is a current virtual marathon, but I hope that we will be able to meet in person. Hope as soon as possible, but you should mark your calendar for Microsoft 365 Collaboration Conference next year in March. Thanks to our general sponsors. Without them, this really huge event couldn't be possible. So let me introduce myself. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. I live in Warsaw, in Poland. I'm Office of Microsoft 365 architect and consultant. I work in ISCG companies and mostly consulting. I'm a SharePoint guy. I work with SharePoint. I started with 2003 version, so it's a long time ago. Currently, I work on Office 365 and Microsoft 365 modern workplace. I focus on SharePoint, on Teams, and Power Platform. We are giving the virtual marathon are giving away free Oculus quests all in one set. So if you want to win this one, you should join our raffle. You could find information on this URL on the virtual marathon page. You can also consider donating to the charity United Way or International Medical Corps and support medics all over the world that fighting current situation. Okay, but let's go now and switch to the topic. So Teams in Education. I will talk a few slides only, and then I will show you a demo. What is Teams for Education? What's that version? I will talk about components, what you can find inside this version. And then I will show you how to start with class, prepare materials, enable communication and meetings with students, and then use assignments and create assignments and grades for students. So let's start from the beginning. So Microsoft Teams has a dedicated designed specifically for education purposes set of features. It's about version that you can use. You can create dedicated classrooms for students for each subject. You can create dedicated places for educators to allow them work together and share information. There's also a dedicated place for staff communication, and last one, it's very common and very simple template for students, for teachers to allow communications but out of the school hours. Okay, we have let's go back to this one. So these teams for education consist of few key elements. One of these elements is dedicated OneNote template that you can use to create materials, create homeworks, send the homeworks to students. This OneNote is classroom OneNote. Has predefined roles. You can set up permissions. You can set up collaboration space for whole class and for class content like materials, presentations, videos. There's also a dedicated section for each student. I will show you this later. And you can also distribute page and section on the whole section for students. And at the end, you can review students' work. There's also assignments and grade features that you can use to create assignments and schedule this assignment for students, and then you can rate students' work and create grades and set up these grades on Teams. And one of the most important feature beside those dedicated templates for OneNote and grades assignments is communication, because without communication, well, it's hard to share information, hard to share any knowledge. So inside Teams, if you are familiar with Teams, it would be the same feature as in normal Teams, but we can use personal chat with audio or video. We can use channel chats for communication, to communicate with students and entire class. We have dedicated place for meetings, online meetings with audio, video, content sharing, but we have also an external communication capabilities, and we can use it to invite external teachers, external consultants to simply join our class, our lesson, and add some value. So this is very, very useful. Or we can use the external communication to invite parents to dedicated team. That's also very important. That we can create and maintain all communication inside our teams. Okay, so that's all for my slides. Let's go and switch to where's my. So we are here. This is Teams. So it's mostly the same layout as in normal Teams, but for education, as you can see, there are some different layout for Teams. So the first dedicated feature, set of features, in fact. So we have 4 dedicated templates. If I want to create a new team for class, for maybe parents, for staff, so I start with create team, and I have 4 templates: class, professional learning community, staff, and other. First 3 are dedicated templates for education purposes, and other is a classic template that you can find in regular Teams. So I will focus only on this class template because it's designed and dedicated for education purposes. So let's start and create one. Okay. Algebra 2. And after, it will take a second. Yeah. So I type some name, and I can also invite students and or teachers. Okay, so I will invite a few students. Where's my list of? Somewhere. Definitely Terry is one of the students, and Adele. I can of course add students later, but I needed those 2 students for demo purposes. So we start. This is class team. We start with general, with channel general, but we can of course add another channels to categorize communication. One of best practice is to add at least one channel for announcements, when we can post any announcements and official announcements for our students. Then we can also add other channels. Of course, channels and number of channels are depend only on our needs, on our subject or topic that we want to learn. Let's say homework question. So I can add as many channels as I need, and I can also have week 1 to start for this. So inside first channel, general channel, I have 4 dedicated tabs, files where I can upload materials for this class. And as you can see, there's a predefined folder called class materials, and this folder has a special icon, special sign on this icon, and it means that it's read only for students. So I, as a teacher, I am able to add some materials inside. I can go here and upload. Let's upload some video. So I can upload any class materials here, but students, and I can also modify those materials, but students can only read those materials. So I am sure that no one will change this stuff. But I can also add others folder structure here and upload any documents and files that I need for this class. The next tab is class notebook, and this is very important and very awesome feature in Teams for education. We start with, without any notebook, any OneNote created. So I need to go and set up one. I can use, if I have already created, so I can use that, but I will start from blank. And we start with this page when we can set up permissions for this notebook, because every class notebook is divided to 3 sections: collaboration space, content library, and student notebooks. So we can edit if a teacher can what teacher can do in each section. But the main idea here is that collaboration space, it's a dedicated space for entire class, for students and for teachers. So we can share ideas, everyone can share his notes, add some materials. Content library is a dedicated place also for entire class, but students can only view this content. So I can add, as a teacher, I can add some materials, create notes, create scripts for lessons, but students will be able only to read those materials. And student notebooks, this section or sections. So student notebooks are designed or defined place for a private space for each student. I, as a teacher, I will see all of these notebooks for each of my students, but student itself, he will be able to see only his own notebook. Okay, I will say, and we start with some sections, predefined 4 sections for students. I can remove, let's say, I don't want quizzes. I can add some. Discussion, and I can go here and create. And what happens now? It will take a few seconds, but I will get a class notebook with created sections, and each student will get his own section in this class notebook. Let's wait a second. Okay. So, fresh notebook, fresh class notebook. As I said before, we have a collaboration space. Inside this collaboration space, yes, this is we have some starting starting message, but this space is for students and for teachers. So everyone can go here, add page, plans for this week, and share some ideas, share comments, add homeworks, whatever we need. There's also a content library section, and here teachers can add notes, create some whiteboards, whatever you need, but this is read only for students. So this is content used for learning for students, but students can't change it. And there's also these two sections, one for Adele and one for Terry. And inside each of these sections, we have discussion. This is my custom section, class notes, homework, and handouts. But these four are, I can modify them at the beginning of creation. But if I have more students, so there will be more sections. And so the first question is that if I now go here and add third students, what will happen? This OneNote will automatically add dedicated section for this new student. So we don't have to go here and manually add sections for each student. It will automatically appear here after a few, maybe a few minutes. I can go here and add some member course. Yeah, Marshall. Okay. So and so this is my third student, and maybe not at this moment, but within a few max 1-2 minutes, it will. Oh, here we go. We have a dedicated section for Marshall. So it doesn't matter when I add additional students, it automatically be populated here. So always will be up to date. Okay, so I will also show you how it looks from students' perspective, because this is my test account for Terry. And if I go here and this algebra 2 and to this class notebook, so I, as a Terry, as a student, I can see collaboration space, student space, and my own section, but I can't see any other section, any other student section. So, but this is my private. No one from students can go here and check what I'm writing. My homework are my own personal, and only teachers can see my works here. And this is by default, so each new student will get this section, and this section will be only private for him or her. Okay, so go back here, and I, as a teacher, I can not only put some notes here, text, embed any videos or pictures here, but I can also use this class notebook as maybe some automation or some tool to create homeworks and send homeworks to each student. Because I have a dedicated section, class notebook here, and I have a lot of more options than in classic OneNote. And those options are dedicated only for these education teams. So I can distribute page or even entire section to students. Then I can review their work. So that's very, very interesting. So I can go here and in content. Okay. I create a section, let's say homeworks. Week 1. Okay, great. And okay, some two equations to solve, and I can go here and distribute this page. So this homework week 1, and I can choose where I want to send this page, let's say to homework, and then it will be automatically distributed to student sections. So it will take a while, but I can go to Terry homework and check if it's here. Not yet. So I can easily create a page or even entire section with homework, with some materials, and easily send this section to each student. Okay, done. This is good. Good, close. So if I go to, as you can see, Terry has a new page in her homework section. Okay, it's not yet populated, but will be visible in a few moments. Okay, so I, as a Terry, I can go. Not yet, not good. I need it. Okay, loading. Yeah, it's visible now, right now. So I, as a student, I'm a Terry. I can go here and check what my teacher sent me, and I see some homework, I some equation. I can resolve it. I can draw something. If I can, if I have a tablet or touch screen, I can use my ink pen or something like this. But for this very interesting feature here, because OneNote has also a math function that I, as a teacher or student, I can use this to solve equations. If I click this, I will get a possibility to to solve for x, or even draw some graph in 2D. So x equal 3. That should be true. But this is only available for for math equations. But it's super easy to use and really handy to solve equations. But you have to keep in mind that sending students equations to solve with this math isn't a good idea, because they can use this and they won't be they don't need to work to put any own work here. But I, as a teacher, I can go here and turn off or turn on these math options for my students. Okay, it should be, let's save this. So I can turn it off for 20 minutes, and then I can send them a new homework with new equations, and they will have 20 minutes to solve this without any support from OneNote. Okay, but okay, I have 3 students. Terry did something here, so okay. But I, as a teacher, I can only get and review those sections, those pages. I can click review student works, select section. So let's say homework, and select this page, homework week 1, and go one by one and review each student work. For Adele, there's nothing. Okay, but for Terry, I have some text. And what's more here? There's very interesting feature one, page locking. So I can go here and lock all pages with my homework and simply apply. So I will be sure that no one will change something during my review. So that's pretty handy feature. Okay, so I can use OneNote, create a class notebook as a dedicated place for materials and for collaboration with students. This is very important because everyone can go here, add some materials, add some stuff, draw something, type something. It's very useful. What's more, I can use also this notebook OneNote feature in a different way. If I create I can create channels for grade. And if I'm in week 1 and go to notes, it will automatically create a dedicated section for this channel for this week 1 in this class notebook. So it's super easy. I don't need to connect anything. I simply click notes in my channel. Yeah, we have a week 1 notes. I have let's say notes for week 1 and type something here. And it's automatically connected to this entire class notebook. And if I open my class notebook and go to my collaboration space, I can see that there's week 1 notes and notes for this specific channel. So it will automatically created here in collaboration space. So it's also super easy to navigate and to keep all notes, all information in one place. There's no need to switch between channels and between OneNote notebooks. No, it's all information, all stuff we can use. We can gather and use one global class notebook. Okay, we have also an assignments feature, right? Because this is a new team, I have to start this, and using this feature, this app, dedicated app, I can create assignments. Let's say if I have two types assignment, so I have to write a description and I can attach some documents, and quiz. Quizzes use Microsoft Forms, so I have to prepare some Microsoft form with questions, and then I can attach it here. But I will start with assignment, with classic assignment. So I can create draft of something. I can add instruction. I can attach a file from OneDrive or upload from my device. I can also assign some points for this assignment, and I can choose is it only for this channel, for this team, for Algebra 2, or if I want it to be available for cross teams, cross subjects. I can also select if it's all for all students or not, and there's pretty handy feature that I can set up a deadline for this assignment and also schedule this assignment to be live. So if I choose that it will be live from 1st of June, it won't be visible till 1st. So I can go and create assignments for entire lesson for all of the weeks, and then simply schedule them to proper dates. And I assign. Okay, it's pretty assigned. I have also in draft mode if there's any, or graded if it's finished. And there's even a dedicated bot to show information about assignments. Okay, go back to my Terry account. And I as a Terry, where's my Algebra 2? So I get information that it published or not. No, it's published. Good. I can go to and view this assignment. No, I have a wait a moment. So it will be ready in a few seconds, I hope. No, it's graded. Why? It shouldn't be graded. Okay. So to not to waste time, I will show you assignments from different class, and there's also completed. Yeah, but this is a assignment, and I can go here as a student. I can add some files with my work, and I can turn it back to a teacher. It's fun icon, fun animation. And I, as a teacher, if I go to this test for test class, because it works here, and to assignments, I can go and check that this assignment from Terry is ready. She sent it to me, and I can go here and assign some points for her. Let's say 9. And that's all. So it's pretty easy. If I use this for, if I have a lot of students, I can simply create assignments for them and send it automatically for all, or set up or choose particular students which need this specific assignment. Then I can go and review these assignments. I can give some feedback. And even turn back to a student to create additional iteration between us. Then I can also have a dedicated space for grades. When I can see all of my students, if I go back to my Algebra 2, yeah, I have only 3 students. Okay, let me see if there's, because it would be better to assignments. No, it's still waiting, or missed somewhere. So I can see my students and grades for each assignment. So if I go back to any, where's my algebra? This one. There should be more grades and more assignments. Oh, as you can see, there's a lot of students, a lot of assignments, points, and I can assign points for each assignment to each student, and then I can easily track progress for my class and take care of if there's anyone behind or scoring well, so I can check and react accordingly to the situation. And yeah, assignments, we can create assignments and grades, of course, per our team, per our class. But I, as a teacher, and I, as a student, I don't need to go through each of the team, through each of the class and check assignments. I can, there's a dedicated section in menu, left-hand menu, assignments, and I can go here and check Algebra 2 and see if there's any active assignment ready for me. If not, I can go back to other, and so there's pretty useful thing that I can go and through all of my assignments. Okay, let's go back to this. Tabs to this channel. Go back to my Algebra 2. There is also inside each class, each channel, I have also a plus sign, and I can add here additional features that I need in my class. There's a lot of features here. I can add web pages, reports, presentations, documents. But one of very important feature, I think, is stream, because I can go here, connect to Microsoft Stream, and embed lessons, pre-recorded lessons for my class. I have a predefined this stream video here. It's called algebra videos, and I can simply share any video I need with my students, and each of the students can go here, click this video, and watch it. Because it's embedded on stream, the stream automatically create closed captions for video. And what's very, very useful, I can also, there is a loop icon here. I can search transcript, let's say algebra, and it will show me with links to this time. Quickly navigate to dedicated section, to dedicated position in the video. It's very important, but if you need, you can go and add other application, third-party application. There's even a Flipgrid connector for Flipgrid. So if you use it, you can use it, or find any additional that you might find useful. Okay, and the last part for Teams in education is communication. It's very deep and wide topic, but I will show you some basics. We can use, of course, channels as a communication platform, communication board, not this algebra 2. I can go here and type any message to my students, share some links with them. Of course, we have a dedicated place for personal communication. So I can go here, or every student can go here and create a message so they can communicate to each other without involving entire class or teachers. So I can, let's say, type some message directly to Terry. So we can use these private personal chats to direct communication, but you can also use these channel chats for class communication. So if I create any number of channels to divide communication to categories, I can easily go, and in announcements, I can share official announcements in week 1, week 2, or week X. I can post any messages directly to these channels. But I can also create or start a meeting with my students, and this is very important because we can create meetings for lessons for each week, when we discuss and show some important material stuff and talk about this. So I can go here to my calendar and create a new meeting. Let's say algebra 2 week 1 meeting. Let's say that I will need some, but I can add a channel where this meeting will take place, and some time. Let's say one is okay. Let's say 1 hour. Okay, it's creating, and it should be ready in a moment. Yes, please create. Okay, refresh this. Yeah, it's ready. So if I go back to my channel to week 1, I see that there is a meeting scheduled for this for today. If I go here, so each student can enter this. Yes, without audio, enter this meeting directly from the channel, and inside and during the meeting, I can invite an external, required attendees or external teacher or someone that I need that will help me in my class. But I can also share my screen, share my desktop to show something, to show how I my prepared materials and discuss those materials with my students. Each student can also, if there's 20, 30 or even more students, it's super handy feature, raise your hand, so each student don't need to, I will show you this one. It should work. Week 1, I as a Terry, I can join this meeting without audio, of course. Okay, I as a student, I can, if I want to talk, I have some question, I can simply raise my hand, and I as a teacher or meeting meeting producer, I can go here and check if someone is need my attention or required have some questions. So I can see that there's a hand near the Terry icon, so I know that she needs something. I can go and let her speak. This is very important and very super handy in large meetings. I can also start recording, so record the entire meeting, and those meetings are stored in Microsoft Stream, so I can use them later to as a training for next students or as a additional materials for learning. So if I'm done, I can simply end meeting, and all students will be removed from my meeting, from my class. Then the recording will be, when the recording is ready, it will send me an email message with link to this recording, and I can share this link with my students. Okay, and that's all for for this basics information about Teams for Education. Where's my session here? As shown. Okay, where's my yeah. So the Teams for Education is it's classic Teams, but with additional dedicated set of features for education, like OneNote, like assignments, grades. It's very flexible. I can create any channel I need. I can create my own tabs, so I can customize the class team for my needs. Well, I can use communications feature from Teams, so channel chats, private personal chats, channel chats, and communication with external people. So yeah, I can invite external people for my meetings. I can share my screen and record my meetings. So that's very important. Yeah, OneNote as a very flexible and very powerful tool with dedicated features for education. That's also super handy. And well, we can extend, of course, Teams with additional applications like Flipgrid, like you can find other on the internet, or you can even create your own if you need if you have the specific requirements. And that's okay. So thank you for joining us. So if you have any questions, so type it on chat. You can also I would be very appreciated if you share some your feedback with us. There's a QR code for speaker feedback and for event feedback. So go share some feedback and join the raffle. And thank you. Okay, if there's any question. Yep. Can we schedule a recurrent meeting? Yes, we can schedule a recurrent meeting. Okay. Can a recorded meeting be turned to MP4? Yes. Each meeting, each recorded meeting is stored on Microsoft Stream, but if you download it, it's in MP4 format. Okay. Okay, I can't see any additional questions. Okay, once again, thank you very much, guys, for attending my session, and sorry for small delay at the beginning.